I was a big fan of your work
Mm.
back in the day, and all those players I love. I also love, obviously Ronnie's still playing, but Judd
Yeah.
and people like that. Like, has it changed at all?
Well, I mean, talking about rugby there, yeah. If you looked at snooker 20 years ago, you'd be say the same sort of thing. Probably loads of
Yeah.
like large, unfit people playing, and I mean, I include myself in that. I mean, I didn't do anything fitness wise, but yeah, I think a lot of the players, the young players now, are doing more of the table. Mark and I were chatting earlier about the reason for Ronnie's one of the reasons for Ronnie's longevity. He's fit. He's physically fit. He keeps himself fit. So he is younger than he's 48 years. He's more like a 35-year-old than a 48-year-old. And I think Judd does a lot of fitness. And you look down the top 16, and there's not really anyone overweight or looks unhealthy anymore.
Ellis, speaking of what is and isn't top level sport, there's this Netflix documentary, and you talked quite a bit about feeling like you didn't necessarily belong in at that level, even when you'd been capped quite a bit, and something that was something you'd always felt, and that really interested me because I understand a lot of those feelings. Is there anything that's changed for you, or is that just something that you just keep on dealing with?
Yeah, I think it was more so like the social demographic of rugby in general. The thing I
Right,
love
yeah.
about individual sports, and this is why I'm such a big fan of snooker, boxing, all those sports where it's literally mono a mono, you and your opposite man. And
Yeah.
if you're better than him, you're better than him. No one cares where you're from. No one cares what you
Yeah.
look like. If you're that good,
Yeah.
you're that good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas in a team environment, you've got these different social dynamics. Like you train with other people, you're in camp with other people that you might not like, but you've got to sacrifice some
Yeah.
things to be a part of a team. So for me, I felt like I was probably changing myself for a few years, probably the best part of 6 years, to sort of fit in. And that made
Because
me
rugby's
very go
yeah,
on.
rugby's got a particular. It's associated with a particular type of school, I suppose, and a
Yeah.
particular type of background.
Yeah, it's changing slowly, but definitely
Yeah.
when I was younger, when Bristol were at the Mem, Kai, it was brutal. Yeah, it was literally first question everyone asked, like, what school did you go to? And obviously, I didn't really want to tell them I went to Knoll Park. So yeah, it was a bit of a weird one, really.
As a Bristolian, I
But
can
yeah,
confirm you probably wouldn't want to say that. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
But it's one of them, and like I said, that's why I enjoy those individual sports so much, because it's
yeah.
just you and the other person. It's actually probably encouraged to be a bit different.
Yeah.
Whereas in a team sport, it's all about sort of keeping your head below the parapet and getting your head down.
I was going to ask because my eldest son played rugby at school, and I never thought he'd ever play rugby because he was a bit like me, built like me, and shy like me. But being part of that team culture really brought something out of him. Did you find that with you as well?
Absolutely, mate. And the big one is when you have to rely on a teammate. You don't know
Yeah.
how vulnerable you are until you're on the pitch. You're struggling, and someone comes and helps you, and how sort of energizing that can be. Which I don't
Mm.
envy you in the sense that I've seen. I watch a lot of snooker, as you could tell. I'm nosing you off a bit, but when I see people on that table and you see them, they miss that one shot and they crumble. I feel so
Mm.
bad for them because I know if I'm in that situation, one of my teammates is going to cover for me. Whereas you
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
you're just you're going to melt in front of everyone.
Yeah.
It's tough to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is why it's fascinating watching individual sport. Like you say, you've got the kind of the freedom because you're on your own and no one's asking you anything about where you come from. But you're also so exposed. You got no one to hide behind. And yeah,
Mhm.
I'm the same as you, Alice. Watching snooker, I think like you almost can't look if you see someone stare at an easy ball they've just missed, like knowing you've blown it
Yeah.
for yourself and there's no one else to blame. It must be. I
Mm.
mean, yeah, Stephen knows what that feels like.
Yeah. Well, I know more about it now with missing
Yeah,
balls. I see my opponents clearing up than
you're an
I ever
expert on
did.
it now.
I was
Yeah.
actually. I know.
Have you got any idea what you would have done if you hadn't been a rugby player?
I won't be sat on Stephen Hendry's podcast. I can tell you that for free.
Well, I wouldn't have a podcast.
To be fair.
I don't know, mate. I was easily led astray. So it was. You can imagine growing up in Knoll, some of the opportunities that were given to me, and thankfully I found sport, and it steered me away from it. But yeah, I don't know where I would have been. Not here, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stephen, do you reckon there are snooker
Mm.
players that could switch codes? Like obviously a lot of you are into your golf. Is anyone good enough at golf that they could have made it doing that?
Yeah. I mean, the way I am at the moment, I could probably be useful in the scrum. I don't know. I might. But no, I don't think. I don't know. I mean, I mean, the likes of I'm trying to think of some players here. Maguire could probably handle himself in the rugby field, I would think. Steve Maguire comes to mind. But no. I mean, most of us don't even like going outside when it's raining. Never mind, like be outside in a muddy pitch, running around and tackling other. I mean, it's just
I never liked going out.
You couldn't get possibly two opposite ends of a spectrum of sport, I suppose.
No, it is true. Rugby, like I remember that those muddy pitches at school. That was, and if you don't like being in the rain, then you're not going to probably get all the way.
I was bunked off at rugby. I used to forge my mum's signature and write a note and get off with it.
And how's your snooker, Ellis? You've said you're quite a big fan. Do you play?
I am. My highest break is 13, mate. I'm awful. Like, you can laugh. It's fine.
About my level, yeah.
I'm awful, but I enjoy it so much. My issue is, Stephen, give me a tip if you want. I can't get. You're supposed to put your chin on the ball. I can't put my chin on the cue, not the ball. Sorry, I can't put my chin on the cue and look up at the ball because my neck's so stiff.
Okay.
I can't. I'm like that, So I need to.
Really? You need to sort your stance out. That's obviously the problem. How tall are you?
6'1".
Yeah, so I mean, the likes of Robertson, Sullivan, I'm 5'11". We're all around 6 foot. It's a good height, but it's obviously just a problem with the stance. That's all. That's probably why. But you need to watch with a beard though, because I have it. You can't use an ash cue because it gets caught in the beard and it's bloody sore.
Really?
How about that?
I don't think I moved the cue well enough to catch my beard.
Yeah, you're not making a long enough break for it to get sore.
No, exactly. Yeah.
You've been to the Crucible, Ellis. I think a few years ago now.
Who did we watch? I was with Manu Tuolangi, who, by the way, is brilliant at snooker.
Is he?
He his highest breaks 50 something. Yeah, you wouldn't have thought it. He's brilliant.
I wouldn't have thought that. He doesn't look like a snooker
player. He played against Ken Doherty in an exhibition and he broke like 30 odd.
Really?
He's brilliant. Yeah, he's class. You should get him on. He's obsessed with it more so than I am.
Oh, really? That's very cool.
But we watched.
So when were you there?
I think we watched Ronnie in 2017. Okay. I think we watched Ronnie. Yeah, right. Ronnie was on one table and Judd was on the other.
Could you see both tables?
No, we were sat in like a VIP booth, and I think Rad would have been sat in the, I don't know what you call it, in the seats where everyone else was, because we were sat like that. Yeah. And I was sort of head height with the table. I couldn't see everything that was going on. And every time I needed to go, we went out the night before, and every time I needed to get up to go to the toilet because I didn't feel too great, the ref would turn around and look at me, give me the evil blessing.
Of all the sports where you don't want to get up and walk around too much.
I know. I ruined it for everyone.
The Masters is the one you want to go to. If you want to go next one, go to the Masters.
I'd love to, mate. Yeah.
Have you got a favourite player? Do you support Judd because of the Bristol connection, or?
I do, yeah. He actually plays at, well, it's a driving range. It's not really a golf club, but he plays at Thickenham now and then, which is by my house. So I see him down there a little bit. I say hello. Who's my favourite player? I've got a soft spot for Ronnie. I support Judd. I was supporting Judd the other day when they played, just because he's Bristolian. Right. I always got to back Judd,
Yeah, we stick together.